That's a wide body beat.
Yo, Panther Nation, what's good? Welcome back to Carolina's Armchair GM. I am your host, CJ. What's going on, everybody out there today? Those of y'all in the Charlotte and surrounding areas, in the South in general, hell, I would say across the country in general. Hope y'all staying cool out there today because it is hot outside. Trust me. I know firsthand. It's hot as all get out. But glad to be back, man. Well, I say that like I wasn't here last week, but glad to go live again. All right. But tonight, as y'all see the thumbnail, we're going to talk about we're going to continue my little series of ranking players in the NFC South. Okay. Now I'm not going to do all positions, but I'm just going to do all of the all the ones that I guess intrigue me. Okay. We did the quarterbacks last week. Today we're going to do the running back. Okay. And that is the starting running backs. Okay. So that's Chuba Hubbard, Bijan Robinson, Bucky Irvin, and Alvin Kamara. Okay. All right. And first of all, let me say this. Did not realize that the daggone NBA draft was tonight till about an hour ago. All right. So, I got it playing right here. So if y'all see me look to the side, I'm just trying to see I'm trying to see who my Bulls pick. I'm a Bulls fan. And I'm trying to see who these Raggedy Hornets pick because I know my boy Daniel is a big Hornets fan, and I give him a lot of crap about it because they stink. All right. Not saying my Bulls are much better or any better, but Hornets stink too. All right, but yeah. So like I said, if y'all see me looking at, I'm trying to see who got drafted. I already know the first pick. Cooper Flag is going to Dallas. We already know that. Hey, all right, but cool. All right, so let's go ahead and get on into. Oh, but before I get into it, okay, as always, y'all can follow me on all social media at Armchair GMCJ. I thank everybody for the support. And speaking of support, okay, shout out to all of the front office members. All right, big shout out to Mr. Hunky Dory last week for gifting me the 20 memberships. So if you got a membership from Mr. Hunky Dory, tell him thank you. All right, Mr. Hunky Dory, as always, I appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you. Okay. So, all of my front office members, thank you for all of the support. All right. But what I want to do first is we're going to get to the running backs. But last week we talked about the quarterbacks. Okay. And we talked about, I said Baker was one. Whoever the starting quarterback for the Saints is going to be number 4. And I put the battle for number 2 between Bryce Young and Michael Penix Jr. Okay. Now, with that being said, I wrote a article on my website, armchairgm.com, if you want to take a look at it. And I asked myself this. Oh, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself. Shout out to the Teppers, David and Nicole Tepper. Okay, they made a donation. I think it's around about $10 million to the local food banks here in our community around the Charlotte surrounding areas. Okay, we've all had our thoughts and feelings on David Tepper when it comes to things, on the field. But I think we can all agree that he has done a lot, as far as, the community, charitable donations, things like this. So shout out to the Teppers for this. I thought this was pretty big of them, donating to our local food banks because, not everybody has everything they need exactly when they need it. And this is a good way for people to get some of the things they need, specifically food. Okay. So big shout out to the Teppers for this. All right. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get on to the next slide. And like I was saying, we talked about the battle between Bryce Young and Michael Penix for the number 2 spot in my ranking. Okay, just my ranking. So I wrote an article on my my webpage, on my website, armchairgmcj.com, if you want to check it out. And I said this: what does a successful year 3 look like for our QB Bryce Young? Okay. And in that article, I wrote anybody who watches football, you already know by now the story of Bryce Young in his first 2 seasons. Okay. It has been it's been a wild ride. Okay. Mostly going downhill, until the end of last season where Bryce Young looked like he got comfortable, started to play well. A lot of people still, will say he didn't play well and this, that, and the third. Okay, your opinion is your opinion. My opinion is that he did play well. And I think, the tape, the stats, the numbers, they all show it. Okay. He did play well going down the stretch. Again, throw 2 dud games in there, which it happens. Okay. It happens. It happens to the best of them. But he did have a good end to last season. Okay. So, what does a successful year look like? And I came up with a couple scenarios. Okay. And I wanted to ask y'all this. And also, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat here. If anybody wants to come up here and join, you are more than welcome. And give me your thoughts and opinions on this as well. So so that's pinned in the comments on YouTube. Okay. So if anybody wants to join me, give me your thoughts and opinions, feel free to come up here. All right. And I guess it's not gonna be an argument, we're just gonna give our thoughts and opinions on what it would look like. Okay. So I got 2 scenarios. All right. So scenario 1. Okay, in both of these scenarios, Bryce plays off 17 games. Okay. He hasn't played a full season either of his 2 years. He had I think it was an ankle injury for 1 game in his rookie year, and he was benched for 5 games last year. Okay. He did get in at the end of the Bears game, so he played in let me see, 13 games I do. All right. So both scenarios, he played 17 games. Okay. And the reason why I chose this one, because you hear a lot of people say he hasn't thrown over 3,000 yards once. All right. Got CJ Stroud did it both years that he's been in the league. They came out the same year. That's a number that I keep hearing a lot. He hasn't thrown over 3,000 yards. He hasn't thrown over 3,000 yards. Okay. So just say this scenario right here. He plays in 17 games, 3,900 yards, 30 TDs, 13 interceptions. The Panthers go 9-8 and miss the playoff. Okay. All right. Panthers go 9-8 and miss the playoffs. That's scenario 1. Okay. Scenario 2. Again, plays in 17 games. Say he only gets 2,900 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. The Panthers go 11-6, division champs. Okay. Even take that 11-6, give it a 10-7. Because I do believe that was the Buccaneers record last year. Hell, you could even give a 9-8. That was the record the year before for Tampa Bay when they won it 2 years ago. Okay. So just think about this: 2,900 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and the Panthers go 11-6 and are division champs. Okay. And I asked these 2 scenarios because it seems to me like you put this scenario right here, and you got a lot of people, whether Panther fans or not, who would look at this and still be like, you know what, he still ain't worth a damn. Okay. It'll be, and of course, if he only throws 2,900 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, the Panthers go 11-6. You best believe that, our run game is probably going to be on point. You're going to have Chuba and Rico back there killing it. Okay. 1,000-yard rusher between the 2 of them, something maybe like, maybe 1,200 yards for Chuba and maybe 700-800 for Rico, and something to that nature. Okay. I mean, hell, Jalen Hurts had 20, if I'm not mistaken, 2,800 yards last year, 18 touchdowns and less than 10 interceptions. They won the Super Bowl. But again, hell of a defense, and you had Saquon Barkley over there hurtling over people backwards, throughout the season. So, yeah. Okay. All right. But like I said, this one right here, you think Panthers winning record, first winning record since what, 20, I think it was 17, I think it was, or 20, not 2016. I think it was 2017 last time we made the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. I might be. Y'all let me know. But yeah, division champs. And like I said, a lot of people would see this and be like, he still ain't worth a damn. Okay. But then going back to this one, all right, 3,900 yards, 30 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Panthers go 9-8, miss the playoff. Okay. And the reason why I bring these up is because I feel like, a lot of Panther fans no, let me say just Panther fans. Okay. They feel like their ROI, their return on investment, hasn't been fulfilled yet with Bryce Young. Okay. You got to remember, we traded DJ Moore, 2024 first round pick that ended up being the number one overall pick that the Bears used to take Caleb Williams. We traded away our second round pick in let me see, we traded the second round pick in that 2023 draft and some more stuff. Okay. And I know a lot of people sometimes it feels like they're stuck on the stats. I get the feeling that if he went out there and had this exact stat line right here, no matter if we miss the playoffs, some people might be happy. It's like they give a damn whether the team makes the playoffs or not. Bryce Young has to go out there, and ball out. Okay. And I'm not saying this is the definition of him going out there and balling out, but NFL standard, this is a pretty decent season. Okay. It's definitely above average. All right. So y'all let me know what do y'all think? And if you can, throw me some scenarios in the chat as well. And let me know not even scenario, just let me know in general, what would be a successful year 3 for Bryce Young. Okay. Y'all let me know that. And once again, these are my scenarios. You got 17 games, 3,900 yards, 30 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Panthers are 9-8, but we missed the playoff. Okay. Scenario 2. All right. 17 games, throws for 2,900 yards, has 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Panthers go 11-6 and are the division champs. All right. So let me know what you think about these two scenarios. Let me know if you think either one of them is actually plausible. Okay. I want your honest opinion. And if you have a different scenario, please let me know what it is. All right. And you know what? And I do apologize. I forgot to get to the chat altogether, y'all. Let me tell you, the heat got me off. I'm telling you, man, it's hot as all get out here. Earl, what's going on, man? How you doing out of the day? Appreciate you joining. Carlos Hugh, what's good, man? How you doing? He said, hot is an understatement. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. SC Panthers boy 803, what's going on with you, man? How you doing? All right. Let me see. I posted on Facebook. Okay, got you. Appreciate you. D Cash, what's going on, man? How you doing? Hey, my favorite Falcon Panther fan. What's up, Red Swan? Said, yo, what's good, CJ? Should be a good time tonight, my good brother. Yeah, man, I plan on it. See, Red Swan talking to Earl. Let me see. Everybody is talking to everybody. All right, Red said, my early prediction is that you will extend Bryce after the season. Just go ahead of the Texans signing CJ Stroud. Okay, I got you. PPP, Panthers Pope Podcast. What's up, Prime? Said Elite Bryce Young. Got you. Or else again, Bryce can be Superman and fans will stay and still say he sucked. yeah, pretty much. But like I was saying though, I think a lot of our fan base can't, refuse to, can't, or just, haven't found a way to get over us jumping up to number one to get him and what we traded away to get him. Okay. There's a lot of the fan base that never really wanted to trade up at all. And at that particular time, I was one of them. Okay. I was fine and dandy going into that next season with Sam Darnold. Okay. I was one of them people. I did not think there would be a scenario where the Panthers would even trade up to get him. I'm thinking we're gonna pick somebody probably on the defense side of the ball. Well, I think we had the number 9 pick that year, but he's here now. He's here. He's our quarterback. So hey, you gotta see where this goes. Let's see. Panther Boy says scenario 2 is good for me. I got you. In the car, he was going. I've been enjoying this heat getting dark. Yo, let me tell you, I ran the Ethernet cable from the house outside down the side of the house or across the patio roof down the side of the house and dug a trench from there out to the shed. Now, mind you, I dug the trench. I think it was Thursday and Friday of last week. Now, mind you, it was still hot, but it wasn't quite as hot as it is now. And I got on the roof early Monday morning so I can run the wires and everything down. So, I get on the shingles, it wouldn't be that hot. So I put some sealant around the hole I drilled in the wall, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back a little later. Let me let that sit first, so we'll go ahead and set up. Man, I got back and the sun had hit that the shingles on the patio roof. Man, I had to reach back in that window and grab me something to throw down them damn shingles. The shingles were hot, hot. And let me tell you, so yesterday, and I know I'm going off subject here, I was at work, so I had to go on the roof and check out some AC units up there. And I had a Coke that I had just bought out the machine. And I'm sitting there like, well, dang, I got to go climb down this ladder. I was like, let me sit this right here in the shade. It'll be all right for a few minutes. So I came back in maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, picked it up. By the time I got downstairs, got in my truck, damn soda was warm. I mean, just came out the machine, was cool with everything. That's how hot it's been in Charlotte. I think today the actual temperature was over 100, and I think the heat index it felt like 110 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's been hot. It has been hot. Will Robinson, Tip Drill Will, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? Let me see. Hey, Carlos said, "What's good, Red Swarm?" Red Swarm talking to PPP, Minister Prime. Said CJ ought to fight you for that. Fight me for what? What I say? What did I say? Ah, hey, he called the card the Riddle Maker. Salute. Kevin Hubbard, what's going on? Panthers Nation, baby. Keep pounding. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly, the card. Blue Swarm. Yes, Blue Swarm. Exactly. Let me see. The car said I bought a milkshake from Zaxby's. It melted when the girl handed to me at the window. Oh, he said, "Oh, fight you for being fine with Darnold." Man, hey, let me tell you. I still say this. I still say this. You keep Steve Wilkes. You keep Sam Darnold. Okay, we could have done something with it. All right, like I said, that's it's done and over with now. But before they made this trade, that was my thought process. So hey, you fight me if you want to in the car. It's all good. Red Swan said, "This heat ain't no joke out here." It is not. It absolutely is not. It is not. Wilkes would have took Anthony Richardson. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. I do believe if we would have never traded up, Sam Darnold would probably still be now, but he would have been our starting quarterback going into the 2023 season, and that number 9 pick would not have been a quarterback. That's just my thoughts on it. But here we are. All right. Okay. So if you just joined me, like I said, I asked this question here. What does a successful year 3 look like for Bryce Young? Posted this scenario: 17 games, 3,900 yards, 30 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Panthers go 9-8, miss the playoff. All right. Scenario number 2: 17 games, 2,900 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Panthers go 11-6 and are division champs. Okay. And if you want to give your thoughts and opinions on that, the link is in the chat. If you want to join me, feel free. All right. So let me see. Satan put his toenails on Charlotte. Man, let me tell you, Satan put his whole foot across this part of the country. Let me tell you, heels, arch, everything, man. Give me the yards and TDs from scenario 1 and the record from scenario 2. Perfect season. Okay, I got you. He said it's hotter than Satan toenails. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Okay. So now let's go ahead and get to the main topic for tonight. All right, so we're going to rank the running backs in the NFC South. Okay. And I'm not gonna lie, I need y'all help with this one because this one for me was a little bit, and I'm still like right now trying to kind of process, how I would rank them, in general. Okay. All right, so our very own Chuba Hubbard. Okay, and as you see on the screen, I got his 2024 stats. He played in 15 games, 250 carries, 1,195 yards, 10 touchdowns. He had 43 receptions for 171 yards, 1 touchdown. So that's a total of 1,366 yards. Divide that by the 15 games he played in. He averaged 91 total yards per game. Okay. My thing with Chuba Hubbard is this is his 5th year in the league. He got his contract last year. I think he has he has progressively gotten better. Um, last year and this year is where he took his biggest leap. Okay. Almost had 1,000 yards last year, eclipsed that this year. His first and second seasons, let me see, because I do have it right here. His first and second seasons, his first season was 2021. Let me see, he had 172 carries for 612 yards. Okay, 2022, he had 95 carries for 466 yards. So went backwards a little bit. All right, and then last year, 902 yards on 238 carries. This year, 250 yards. I'm sorry, 1,195 yards on 250 carries. Okay. The one thing that I think Chuba Hubbard has worked on a lot since he's been a rookie was his receiving skills. Okay. I always say he had kind of like Xavier Woods. He had cinder block hands a little bit when he first came into the league, but he's progressively got better. All right. Is he that dual threat at the running back position where he's going to get you 100 yards a game and then he's going to have, you know, 8, 9 receptions for another, 60, 70, 80 yards? Probably not. Okay, probably not. And you got to think about it now. You got Rico Dowdle in the backfield as well. So on passing downs, Chuba Hubbard might not be that option that Canales and offensive coordinator Brad Isaac have in the game. Okay, Rico Dowdle might get those catches out of the backfield. Okay. And I think they're going to have to find a balance between the two of them, but we'll see. We don't know exactly how Rico being here is going to affect Chuba. I don't think it's going to affect his rushing yards. Okay. Chuba's still going to be the bell cow. I still see another 1,000 yard season, and my thing is hell. It probably it would have been more if he hadn't missed them the last two games. Sorry, the last two games of the season. I think he had a shoulder injury. Okay, but I get it. Not in the playoffs. Go ahead and take care of it. Sit him down. Get him ready for next year. All right. So that is Chuba Hubbard. Okay. All right. Next on the list we have Bijan Robinson. Okay, from the Atlanta Falcons, Red Swans' favorite team. All right, supposedly. Okay, so he played in all 17 games, 304 carries, 1,456 yards, 14 touchdowns, 61 receptions, 431 yards, one touchdown. He had a total of 1,887 yards, and he averaged 111 total yards per game. Okay, now with Bijan, not the same scenario as Chuba. You know, Bijan came in not this past season, but year before, and was RB1 from the jump. Okay, so you had Bijan. Let me pull his stats up here. All right, so in 2023, Bijan had 214 carries for 976 yards. So he almost had 1,000 yards in his rookie season. And again, this year, 304 carries and 1,456 yards. Okay, but you throw in the 61 receptions, for 431 yards as well, and that's all the more for Bijan Robinson. Okay, he is a strong back. He is elusive, and the one of the things I'm having trouble with here, is you got somebody like Chuba who's been in the league 4 years. Okay, you got somebody like Bijan who's been in the league too. Got somebody coming up next in Alvin Kamara who's been in I think 8. And this is his 9th season. Okay, but we'll get all of that in a minute here when we get to ranking. Okay, so this is Bijan Robinson. Now we're gonna move on to Alvin Kamara. Okay, from the New Orleans Saints. And last year he played in 14 games, 228 carries, 950 yards, 6 touchdowns, 68 receptions, 543 yards, 2 touchdowns. Okay, he had 1,493 total yards, and his average total yards per game was 106. Um, I think the thing with Alvin Kamara, because the Saints had a stretch there where, let me see, they lost, if I'm not mistaken, Saints lost 6 games in a row. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games in a row. Okay. And in those games, let me see. Alvin Kamara did not fare well. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to pull my stats up. All right. So in those that 7 game losing streak, let me see. 87 against the Eagles, 77 against the Falcons, 26 against KC, 40 against Tampa Bay, 10 against Denver, 67 against the Chargers, and not surprising, 155 against our good old Carolina Panthers. Okay. I think a lot of these running backs in this division should be happy that they had to play this team twice a year last year. Okay. Because everybody had every running back in the division had a monster game, at least one against the Panthers. Okay, at least one. So we'll see. But hold on. Red Swan said AK has never had 1,000-yard rushing season. Up now, look at this. I'll be damn, Swan. You're absolutely right. He never has. Wow, I did not know that. The closest he came was last year with the 950 yards. Wow. Okay, I did not know that. But you got to think about some of his but he makes up for it. Well, I didn't say make up for it, but he's the prototypical dual threat. Okay, he's getting a ton of receiving yards in the season. I mean, he hasn't had lower than, let me see, his lowest receiving yardage total for a year is 439 yards. 439 yards. Okay. Hell, last year he was the Saints' second leading receiver. Okay. He was the Saints' second leading receiver. Let me see. Let me pull up this here. Let me see exactly who. Okay. So receiver for the Saints last year. The tight end, Juwan Johnson, was the leading receiver with 548 yards. Alvin Kamara came in second with 543. Chris Olave only played in 8 games. Marquez Valdez Scantling only played in 8 games. Rashid Shaheed played in 6. They had Cedric Wilson Jr. He played 15, but he had 211. Okay. But again, yeah, thank you for that, Red Storm. I did not realize he has not had a 1,000-yard rushing season in his whole career. All right. But you still can't take anything away from Alvin Kamara because he is he's definitely a weapon. All right, running and receiving. Okay. So these are his stats from last year. Okay. So now going to Bucky Irvin from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, played in all 17 games, 207 carries, 1,122 yards, 8 touchdowns. He had 47 receptions, 392 yards, and no touchdowns. 1,514 total yards, and he averaged 89 total yards per game. Okay, and again, Bucky Irvin is another person who loved to see the Carolina Panthers last year. All right. Let me see, his 2 best games. What I'm saying, his best game was in the overtime game against the Panthers. He had 152 yards. Okay. And then when they played us again and destroyed us down in Tampa, he had 113. All right. Bucky Irvin, something coming out of Oregon. I'm not gonna lie, I did not predict him having this kind of a season this year. But you know what? He's a good running back. From what I can see from, he's patient. He waits on his blocks. He finds his lanes, and when he finds his lane, he's out. He's small in stature, but he's not, just complete pushover. He can get some of those extra yards, get some of those tough yards. So I think he's a good running back as well. Okay. And here is his stats from the 2024 season. Okay. So what I need y'all to do, all right, help me out here. Because my thing is this. I want to rank them, but if I'm ranking them on just last season, I'm going to say, I'm going to say Bijan, Chuba, Kamara, and Bucky. I'm gonna put Bucky at the bottom just because he's a rookie. Okay. The one constant I'm going to do, I'm gonna put Bucky Irvin at the number 4 just because he was a rookie last year. Okay. That's my thoughts if we just going on last season. Okay. Now, if we going back about this overall, I might have to jump Alvin Kamara, up to number 1. Okay. Might have to. Let me see what Red Swan say. He said he's always been a combined yards running back. Like you rightly say, CJ, he's good at receiving. Okay, talking about Kamara. Gotcha. And like you say, dual threat running back. Okay. Also said CJ, I like Bucky Irvin coming out of Oregon. If I'm not mistaken, I thought that he was injured quite a bit at Oregon. I remember him being in Oregon, but I don't remember how often he was injured there. Okay. But, Tampa Bay definitely got them still with him in the draft last year. But yeah, you know. But like I said, now y'all let me see. Roadmaster. What's going on with you, Roadmaster? Tomorrow wants out of NO, something to keep an eye on. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. And you know what? And I didn't finish my thought earlier. When I was talking about that 7-game stretch that they lost those games, if I'm not mistaken, Spencer Rattler was the quarterback for, 6 of them. Okay. And the thing is, and I know it all starts with the quarterback. Okay. And I know a lot of people are going to say, probably going to disagree with when I say this. All right. But if Kamara has bad quarterback play, all right, and they can't get the ball to them, they're taking sacks, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and if the defense can key in on Al Kamara, I'm not saying, load up the box every time because that probably wouldn't be the right thing to do against Kamara. Okay. But, if his quarterback is not living up to par, which definitely wasn't in those 7 games, his stats started slowly dwindling down until he got to the Carolina Panthers. Okay, now they ended up still losing the game, but Kamara went the hell off. All right, 155 yards, and I forgot how many receiving yards he had as well. But let me see. Hold on, I'll tell you right here in a second. All right, let me see. Against us, he added 6 catches for 60 yards in that game as well. Okay. All right. Romance said Bucky is a problem. Yes. But the crazy thing was in both of the Tampa Bay games against Carolina last season, I promise you, Bucky Irvin looked like he was at least 4 to 5 yards past the line of scrimmage before he got touched. Okay. And I mean, damn near every play. Damn near every play in both of those games. If Bucky Irvin got the ball, it was at least 4 to 5 yards past the line of scrimmage before the first Panthers defender got a hand on. Okay. So, like I said, he had 2 hellified games against the Panthers. I know he was, after that first game, he was probably ready for us to come down to Tampa Bay. So, but yeah. All right. Let me see. Carlos, he said, I agree, CJ. Master said Kamara is very hard to contain. Yes, Kamara is hard. He is hard to take down as well. If I'm not mistaken, I saw this thing some years ago where I don't know if it was ballet he was taking, or some kind of like balance training. If you see when Kamara runs, you have to, and I mean this is for most running backs, but you have to like wrap him up and get him to the ground. You cannot throw a shoulder into Alvin Kamara. Your hope cannot be to knock this man off balance and think that that's going to be the tackle that's going to save whatever play that you're on right now. If you think about the running backs in the league who probably have the most balance, I think you'd have to put Alvin Kamara at the top of that. You see it play after play where he gets hit. He might get knocked 2 or 3 yards this way. He has a hand in the ground, a hand on the ground. He gets his balance and, he takes off. And next thing you know, he's 20 to 30 yards down the field. All right. Let me see. What's going on, Nader? How you doing? It said overall we have the best offense next season. Let me tell you, I hope so. I hope so. I hope so. Bucky won't run like last year against us next year. I'm going to agree with you on that one. I'm going to agree with you on that one. because I would say this, hell, it was them two Panthers games that I'm not gonna say was only thing that got him over the 1,000 yard mark last year, but it definitely contributed. Definitely contributed. Okay. All right. So, okay, here we go. Red Swan says, I'll go Bijan, Bucky, Chuba, Alvin. Okay. This is the order that PFF has them as well. PFF running back rankings. Bijan number 3, Bucky number 6, Chuba number 16, and Alvin Kamara number 20. Mm, okay. Okay. Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. All right. Bet. All right. Let me see. Roadmaster, Native Evero has to get right. He does. He does. We can't have another defensive campaign where we're out here giving up this many rushing yards in the season. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Every running back just about had a field day against us, even in the losses. Like the first game, no, I'm sorry, the second game against the Saints, 155 yards. Who was it? My man, I think it was it Tracy for the Giants. He had 100 and something in the Germany game. James Conner. Who else? Oh goodness. Let's see what my man named for Pacheco. Did Pacheco play against us in the Kansas City game? I don't know. Let me see. Let me go look at that real quick. All right. Pull up our schedule for last year, and I do apologize. I do have my stuff up here, but I'm going from page to page to page. And I clicked on the wrong game. Okay. All right. Oh, Kareem Hunt was the leading rusher in that game. 16 carries for 68 yards. Okay. All right. So, we'll see. All right. Let me see. Red Swan said the NFC South has the best running backs team for team in the NFL. Okay. All right. Now you might have to throw in if you want to say as a division, we might have the best, running backs as a division in the NFL, maybe. Okay. But you probably have to throw Detroit up in there as well. You got Gibbs and Jameer Gibbs, and I can't remember my man name. Oh goodness, it came from the Bears. Uh Somebody help me out here because I don't feel like looking. But you might throw them in there as well. All right. Let me see. And the card said Bucky not better than Chuba. Okay. All right. And the card says it's not even close. Okay. All right. Now, mind you, let me ask y'all this. Um, do you think that do you think, like I said earlier, do you think Chuba rushing yards stays the same, goes up this season? You got Rico down in the backfield. You think that Rico takes a lot of those receiving yards that Chuba may, or may not have gotten? Because the crazy thing was last year, it was really Chuba. Okay. Bryce was our second leading rusher with like 200 and something yards. All right. It was Chuba versus everybody. All right. We had high hopes from Miles Sanders that didn't pan out. We thought Raheem Blackshear would get in there, show out a little bit. You know, that really didn't work out that great, but hey, let me see. Roadmaster said Swarm, all four teams in the division got nice running backs, but Carolina has our one-two punch back. Okay. You know what? And let me say this. Okay. Now, if we were to rank the duos in the NFC South, okay, where would y'all rank the duos in the NFC South? Carolina has Chuba and Rico. All right. The Bucks have Bucky Irvin and Rashad White. Tampa, no, I'm sorry, not Tampa. Atlanta has Bijan Robinson and uh Tyler Algier. Okay, and the Saints have Alvin Kamara, and I have to see real quick who their backup running back is right now. Let me see. Keandre Miller. Okay. Keandre Miller. And they just recently signed Cam Akers as well. All right. So if y'all had to rank the duos, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be easy one for me. I'm going to say, okay, I'm starting from the bottom. Um, Saints would be 4, Tampa would be 3, and I think it would be a fight for number 1 between Carolina and Atlanta. Okay, and I say it's a fight because Bijan and Tyler Algier have been a duo for 2 seasons now. Okay, this will be the first time Rico and Chuba will be on the field, and I'm not even going to say it's a guarantee that Rico would be back in the 2026 season. This may be just a what's it, kind of like a prove it year, and then somebody else who's really in need of a running back, go out there and sign up to a big deal. I'm still surprised that he actually even came to Carolina, to be honest with you. And I've been asking Cowboy fans all off season, like, how in God's name did y'all, why in God's name did y'all let him go? And none of them have been able to come up with the answer for me yet. Not a single one. They all do just like this. They go. So, we'll see. All right. Let me see. Panther Boy said, if EJ don't get this right this upcoming year, he's gone. I'll escort him out myself if he doesn't keep pounding around how to shark. Earl said, facts. Nader said, we're going to own NFC South for a long time. Let me tell you, I'm with it. I'm with it, Nader. I am with it. Okay, Red Swan said, at Roadmaster, I ain't even mad at you. Chuba and Rico are nice, and I love the addition of ETN, my UGA dogs. Okay, all right. Montgomery. That's it. Montgomery. Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs. Thank you. David Montgomery. Thank you, Red. Appreciate that. Okay, he said yes. I was talking about all 4 teams. Okay, yeah. I would definitely put the NFC South up there. Yeah, definitely. I would definitely put them. Let me see. Chuba getting 1,200. I think that's, yeah, yeah. I can see that. I mean, I'm pretty sure Chuba probably would have been over 13, close to 1,400, if he hadn't missed those last 2 games. All right. And no disrespect to you, Red Swarm, at all, but I think he would have had a hell of a game versus Atlanta. Okay. Maybe not the game that Bijan had against Carolina. Bijan had 170 yards against his Panthers defense. But I think Chuba could have probably went for, 120, 130 yards against that Atlanta defense. But, like I said, we'll never know because he didn't play. All right. They said Panthers running back are good for 1,800 yards next season. All right. Now, Nader, are you saying that between Chuba and Rico? I might just sprinkle in a little bit of some ETN, maybe Blackshear if he gets in or whatever. But because the Panthers as a whole last year had 1,800 yards total. Okay, 1,800 yards total. Let me see. It was 1,800 and because I sat here and clicked my whole tab off by mistake. All right. So 1,878 yards as a team last year. All right. So we'll see. I would love it. I would love it if that would be the case because between Bijan and Tyler Algier, I think they had 2,000 yards between the two of them. Okay. So let me see. Stay about the same. Okay. That Sanders got fumbleitis. Yeah, he did. Poppin', what's going on, Poppin'? NFC South has good running back duos. Yes, yes. All right, says Falcons 1A, Panthers 1B, Bucks and Saints. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. And like I said, for the simple fact that Bijan and Algier have been a tandem for 2 seasons. And Red, let me know if I'm wrong. Have they had the same offensive coordinator the past 2 years? If you would let me know. I don't know if y'all have had any turnover at that position or not. Roadmaster Rico came to Carolina because he's from South Carolina. Oh, okay, got you. All right, but like I said, I wonder, I wonder, if there's a way he could still be here next year. Because I'm thinking like, hey, we got Rico. They drafted ETN. If they get the sense that Rico's not going to be here more than a year, okay, we already got maybe his replacement in ETN. So we'll see. All right, says put all 3 of our running backs on the field and bring back the wishbone for a couple I got you. I got you. I got you. Speaking of Wishbone, man, let me tell you, anybody seen that new trailer for NCAA 26? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I took my alma mater, the Charlotte 49ers, to the national title. Um Storm, I'm sorry to say I beat your Georgia Bulldogs in the national title game. It's funny, me and my best friend were talking about that earlier. And they made some improvements. You know, I hope that the AI for our teams is a little better on defense, because I promise you, linebackers will jump 30 yards in the air, and then they'll jump 10, 20 feet in the air at 30-degree angle and knock down a ball that's 25 yards away from them. You know, and that's the computer. Okay, then when I'm on defense, my linebackers just sit there and watch stuff just go right over top of them and get completed and ran for a touchdown. Roadmaster said 803. I'm making Evero walk home if we lose in Jacksonville. I'm not mad at that at all. All right. Okay, Native says yes. So that's Rico and Chuba getting 1800 plus. Okay, I got you. Romac said they don't know nothing about wishbone or wing T. Let me tell you, I only know from playing it on NCAA shit back when, you know, until they stopped it. Let me see. I've always liked Chuba. You will not get any argument from me on how good he. Okay. Let me see. Panther Boy said romance. I agree, because his defense was the reason for all those close losses we had last season. Period. I can mostly agree with that one. Papa said, "What's good, Red? My headache just stopped after listening to Ronnie Rice." Hey, I caught a little bit of that earlier, Papa, just a little bit. I was at work, and let me tell you, free moments at my job have been few and far between the past couple days. But let me tell you, I saw y'all live when I was at work, and then I got here later on, and started prepping some of these slides, and I just happened to get on YouTube, and I said, "Dang." I said, "They still live." I said, "Okay, I had to go back and watch some of that. That must have been a good one." But shout out to Cuban Goat and everybody that Black Cat Panther podcast. All right. Let me see. Roadmaster says at Swarm, the NFC South going to change PFF minds except for New Orleans. Okay. Red says no. Last year was Zach Robinson's first year. Oh no, I'm sorry. Last year was Zach Robinson's first year as an offensive coordinator. Bijan in rookie season was under Arthur Smith. Oh, that's right, Arthur Smith. Okay, got you. Let me see. Romaster. So that means Gilmore is coming back because he's from South Carolina too. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it, because he had a chance to re-sign with the Panthers and decided to go to. Excuse me, God, where did he go? To Dallas that next year, and then last year he ended up in Minnesota with the Vikings. So I don't think that's gonna happen. Well, just because of him being from South Carolina. So we'll see. All right. And again, the link is in the chat. If anybody wants to come up here and join me and give y'all opinions, and let me know how your rankings are for the running backs. All right. Nakar said, I had to create my school, LOL, my alma mater, College of Charleston, that don't have a football team. Got you. Speaking of what is it, Queens University here in Charlotte, today they were granted they are now a Division I school. I don't know if they have a football team, but they have a basketball team. I don't remember what they were before, but now they're eligible for all college playoffs. I saw that right before we went live. So congratulations to Queens University. Let me see. Let me see. 803 said Clowney did it to retire here. Okay. All right, and let me add to the stage my good buddy. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute in the car. Me, you know what? Hold on a second, because I have this thing acting stupid right now. There we go.
So
All right, what's going on with you, man?
What's good with you, CJ?
Oh, nothing much, man. Trying to look see if you actually got blacker.
You can't tell, man. You can't tell.
I'm sorry, man. I couldn't help myself.
Oh nah,
I'm
go
sorry.
for
I'm
it. Go
so
for
sorry.
it. There's a lifetime of it,
I'm so
especially when
sorry.
you're a Leggett. We all dark.
Yeah, man. I tell you. Well, I will say this. Now, mind you, I'm that person that I'm like my dad. I will go down the road with the windows down and my arm sticking out the window like this. So, like from here down on my arm is a lot darker than the rest of.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
used to do that as a kid, but I grew up.
Hey, well, I'm a big kid, I guess, though. I'm a big kid. All right, hey, so now give me your thoughts and
I don't
opinions
have an
on
opinion.
okay,
Nah, I'm
well
just
give
playing.
me your give me your thoughts on the running backs for the NFC South. Okay.
Um, the Saints are a non-factor. Alvin Kamara, his best days are behind him. The Bucks, pretty good, but Bucky Irvin being your lead back, I don't trust it. I feel like that was a 1 year thing. And the Falcons, of course, Bijan and Tyler, give them their respect for once. And I think we have a formidable duo at running back too, with Rico and Chuba. So I think it's gonna be a nice two-team battle as far as running backs go.
Okay. Now, like I said, do you think there's going to be a bit of an advantage for Bijan and Tyler Algier because they played with each other for 2 seasons, or do you think that Rico and Chuba can hit the ground running? Pun intended.
I think running back is one of the positions in the NFL. They have the easiest transition from college to the NFL. So I think they'll be able to hit the ground running. The concepts are still the same. They know what
Mm,
to do. They know how to do it, and it's gonna be very rare that they are. Well, I won't say it's very rare, but for the most part, they'll be on the field at separate times. Dave has some two running back packages, but
mm.
I feel that they'll be able to, hit the ground running.
Okay, cool. And remind me again because I remember you put your rankings in the comments, but I ain't trying to scroll back up that far. Tell me, tell me who you got again.
I had 1A, 1B Falcons and Panthers, then Bucks and Saints.
Okay, all right, cool. Now that's for the duos, right?
hmm
Okay, now just the starters, just
Just the
Bucky, Alvin,
starters.
yeah, all them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Kamara at 4. Uh Kamara at 4. I'm gonna go Bucky at 3, Chuba and Bijan.
Okay, I can agree with that. I can agree. Okay, let me see and put this comment back up. Robert CJ, I went to school versus Troy Williams, Silver Bluff High
Oh,
School,
not
ran
Silver
wing
Bluff.
T that he averages 13 yards per carry. Whew, Lord have mercy. We tell you, boy, if only we could get somebody average 13 yards per carry, boy. Let me tell you, Bryce would probably throw for about 700 yards this season. Everybody. So how many yards King Bryce will have with loaded offense? Um, to be honest with you, I do believe that you can pencil Bryce in for throwing over 3,000 yards. Okay, I do believe that's going to happen this year. How much more than that? I'm not going to throw that out there right now. Well, let me. I guess I will. I think he'll have at least 3,500. Okay,
uh,
I think he'll at least have 3,500. We're going to have one of our running backs with 1,000 yards. In a perfect world, hell, maybe we could have 2,000 yard running backs like we did with Williams and Stewart back in the day. But we have 2,000 yard running backs. Does Bryce throw for that many yards, or does he even need to throw for that many yards? That's the question. We'll see. What you think, Nakar?
I got Bryce at 3,400, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Chuba good for 1,200. Rico probably get a good 859. So yeah, I got Bryce at 3,400. I think he's gonna have his best year so far, but I don't think he'll topple the 4,000 yard mark simply because we're not gonna throw the ball as much as he needs to reach that level.
Mm, okay.
Lots of
And
play actions.
yeah, and that's another thing as well because Canales has said on multiple occasions, that he wants to establish the run, run
Mhm.
first offense. And just think, if Rico and Chuba can get this ball rolling out of the gate, okay, and we win in games, and Bryce Young, just say we running for hell 200 yards a game, something like that. That's just something I'm throwing out there. Okay, just say the first couple games we average, in the upper 100, 200 yards a game. Um, yeah, Bryce ain't gonna be out there throwing for 300, 350 yards a game. I know some people gonna be like, he ain't
No,
gonna
and
do it
some
no way.
people they gonna hate on him just because he ain't throwing for 300 a game.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I think that's the thing. Sometimes too, people are still stuck on, like I said, the ROI, the return on investment with Bryce,
Mhm.
because of what we had to give up for him. It's like people just want stats, 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 stats. They could give a damn if the Panthers won 3 games. Bryce got to go out there and throw for 4,000 yards because C.J. Stroud did it. He got to
Yeah.
go out there and and do this because another quarterback did.
And
Like
when
I
you look
said.
at the picks that Chicago made, it's not like,
Mm,
they got a bunch of world beaters or anything. They made some decent selections, but like
mm-hmm.
Tyreek Stevenson, he lost them that game against Washington with the Hail Mary.
Mm, mm,
Caleb Williams, we'll see how he pans out. Of course, they got DJ Moore, good player. But it's not like, they went and drafted Jalen Carter or somebody. So
yeah.
I think the
Well, I said
trade is a lot closer than most people would admit. Most non-Panther fans.
okay. Um. Well, okay, Nate. Do you think it kind of in a way makes up for a little bit now we have Ted McMillan? You know,
It doesn't hurt.
no,
It
I got.
doesn't hurt.
I got you. Okay, I got you. All right, cool. But yeah, man. All in all, I do think it's going to be an interesting year for the running backs in the NFC South. Like I said, for Alvin, let me go back. But first, let me go. Start Bucky Irving. Um, mind you now, 1,122 yards. Baker Mayfield threw for 4,500 yards, 40 touchdowns, and I forgot how many interceptions. Okay, so their offense was rolling, and
And
it's
they
still.
still ain't gonna get out of the first round ever.
And I was about to say it's still crazy to me. They only went 10-7. Okay, with that offense, you only go 10-7. All right, you got a 4,500 yard passer, 1,000 yard running back. Mike Evans at the wide receiver spot. I can't remember who their second leading wide receiver was. You know,
Godwin
and
was
like I
hurt,
said,
wasn't he?
yeah, Godwin was hurt. Godwin only played 7 games, I do believe. Okay, but yeah, you have all that, and you only go 10-7. In the division in NFC South that last year, I'm not going to say, we were looking at the rest of the league as far as division and be like, that look at us. Okay. Um, but yeah. So, with those kind of numbers of offense, and the defense wasn't terrible, but same time you putting up that many stats, that much you oh God, I can't talk. You throwing for that many yards, you running for that many yards. Your defense must be giving up some points at some point. If you only win 10 games. Let me tell you, if Carolina had that offense last year, I would be like, man, ain't no way we shouldn't have won 13, 14 games.
With the
You know
defense
what I'm
we
saying?
had, I don't know.
Well,
But
okay, well, what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're you're right. You're right. But no, but well, maybe maybe we could have outscored a few of them people. Hey,
yeah, I guess.
we'll
I
see.
mean, a couple things go our way and we win like 2, 3 more games. So it's very possible. But the Bucks are just like a lot of empty calories. Um,
Mhm.
I I think they win the division by default. Not like this season, but just they win it because everybody else is just a mess. And so
Yeah.
as soon as they get like some real competition, I think, the real competition being the black and blue, I think is
Okay.
ours. I don't think the Bucks really like they not like that for real.
All right. Got you, Nicole. Hey, Red Swarm said, well, Nakar, I just so happen to be a non-Panther fan, and to date, that trade is nowhere near being close. Now, Bryce can become a top 10 QB in the NFL this year, then I can't agree with you. Now, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I tend to agree with Red on this one. Because like I keep bringing up return on investment. If you look at it, stats, wins, from just a Bryce Young perspective, the Panthers have not got their return on investment yet. Okay, they have not got it yet.
But if you also look at it, last season the Bears had the same record as us with all of that fancy shiny shit, and the season
True.
before then they were still bottom of the barrel with DJ Moore. So like, is it really as far away as y'all thinking? Because I'm seeing two teams doing the same thing. And I also, I'm not high on Ben like most people are. I think what he had in Detroit was a good thing, but I don't see him being able to like lead a whole team. I think it's gonna go like Mike McDaniels in Miami, and it's just gonna fizzle out. But that's just my opinion.
You know what? I kind of get that feeling about Kellen Moore in New Orleans too. He had a good thing running as the OC in Dallas. And is he going to be able to go down there and translate that to the Saints and their
No.
organization? I don't know. And real quick, hey, Tip Drill Will, man, thank you for the $5 super chat. Greatly appreciate you, sir. He said, hell, look at Hurt stats last season and they won the Super Bowl. Yeah. Let me tell you, I looked at that earlier. Hold on.
Please don't say the H word too much, because I'm tired of these Eagles fans talking about Jalen better than Cam. Not even. It's not even close. They really.
They've been pushing that hard, man.
They've been pushing it.
Okay. Jalen Hurts had 2,903 yards last year, 18 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions with a QBR of 65.6, which ranked 10th. He was 20th in yards. He was tied for 20th with touchdowns, and is tied 72nd with 5 interceptions. All right, but lower is better.
Saquon got him all them touchdowns. I don't know why he was getting tackled on the one. I don't know what that was about. They must have had a deal or something.
Hey, maybe hold on. Let me go and look up. Hold on a sec. Okay, let me see. 2024. Yo. Oh my goodness. Yo, Hurts had 630 yards rushing and 14 touchdowns last year.
And I could bet 12 of them came from the tush push.
Yeah. Yo, it's crazy. They still trying to get that ban. I'm just like, my thing is, and it's like this in all kind of sports that I watch a little bit of everything. I like football, basketball. Not that big of a baseball fan. If the Braves in the playoffs, I'll watch it come playoff time. The Braves are my squad. But I'm a big racing fan, whether it's NASCAR, Formula One,
I
IndyCar.
thought you said I'm a big racist fan. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, racing. I'm sorry if my lisp, got in the way of that one. I do apologize. Racing, driving, but but you stupid, man. You stupid. But but I'm a big stock car fan, racing. And they do a lot of interesting things, especially in Formula One. The engineers, they come up with a lot of stuff. And it seems like if one team gets it right and the other ones can't match it, then they'll ban it. Okay, then they'll ban it because it's like, okay, well, this team is not getting away with this, but it's like, hey, we've done our time, we've done our research, we've practiced this, we've perfected this. This is ours. It works. If the other teams want to be able to do it, they need to buckle up and get in the lab and get something that's equal to this or better. But then they'll ban it. It's kind of the same thing, with the tush push. It's like everybody's like, well, hell, the Eagles are the only one that can do it. They got an unfair advantage. Let's ban it. My thing is, hell, go out there and put in the time, and other teams get better at it. You know, and I mean, shit, defensive coordinators go out there, put in the time, put in the film, get better at stopping it. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? You cannot blame or punish a team for doing something that's legal in the rule books and doing it way better than anybody else. That's just effort, execution, and persistence. You know?
I feel like every team, was it the Bucks that took the boy from Florida? It's like 400 and something pounds.
Oh yes, yes they did. Yes they did.
That's a
We
push, a push stopper right there. Every team got to go get one. Go to Japan, get some
yeah.
sumo wrestlers or something. I don't know, but
We got we got Cam Jackson. They got the other
mm,
guy. I forgot his name. But yo, can you imagine? Can you imagine Big Vita Vea? And hold on, now I gotta look my man name up. I swear, I gotta look his name up. Hold on a second. Let me get the Tampa Bay roster. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Vita Vea. Is it Desmond Watson?
I don't know what his
Yes,
name
that's
is.
it. Desmond Watson. He's 6'5", 449 pounds from Florida.
Man,
Okay. Can you imagine? Can you imagine him? And then you got Big Vita Vea, who is 6'4", 347. Yo, that dude outweighs Vita Vea by almost 100 pounds. Like, bruh.
and
but but the thing with that, if they're playing against Philly, will they be quick enough to get the offensive lineman? Will they be quick enough to stop the offensive lineman from cutting their legs out? Basically, you know what I
mhm.
mean. I think that's the big thing. Those offensive linemen, they get down, they get up under those defensive linemen, and then it's up to whoever's pushing the quarterback just to get them through the pile, over top of the pile, or whatever. So yeah, yep. Hold on,
Got to
let me
pull a
see.
Frankie Louvu. Just
Oh goodness.
make them work for it till they tell you to stop.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Roadmaster said in the car, Saquon took a fall for a check.
He definitely did.
Oh my goodness. Let me see. I know I missed some comments, y'all. I apologize. Roadmaster said, CJ, you into drag racing? Yes, yes. I don't keep up with it as much on the national circuit, the NHRA. I am a big fan of like what is it, 1320 video, like the YouTube channel, where they be showing a lot of the local drag races and stuff like that. Where they be having the bragging rights, locals versus everybody, some street outlaw type stuff. Now I'm real big into those, But now I do like Top Fuel. Top Fuel is okay. You know, Funny Car is okay, but I tend to like the divisions a little lower down as far as drag race. But yeah, but I do watch it too. Yep. Okay. Roadmaster say that's a mountain. And that's two mountains. Say Vita Vea and Desmond Watson. Bruh. All I know is this. I hope I hope at some point during the season we ain't got to line up against both of them jokers at the same time, bro. Let me tell you, hey, we gonna have to run. We're gonna have to run tosses, sweeps, everything else. If they run draw up the middle, I'm gonna be like, you know what? Just go ahead and fire everybody, man. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do? Okay, but all right, but yeah. But man, let me say, when the car, I appreciate you joining me. I didn't have much else other than this. But like I said, my rankings for the quarterbacks in the NFC South were a little more definitive. Okay. With the running backs, I think that each team does have a high quality starting running back. And I think during the season this can go either which way. All right. But if I had to do it now, I think I would put Bijan 1, Chuba 2, um, uh, Kamara 3, and Bucky 4. Okay. And to be honest with you, if you wanted to be bold, you could probably switch Bucky and Kamara. Right now, like you said, depending on who his quarterback is. Okay. And like everybody likes to tell us here in Carolina, it all starts with the quarterback. Well, hell, hey, it all starts with the quarterback with every team. So we'll see. We'll see.
All I got to say is get Xavier out of Mullins. He out here eating that bush.
What
You
is
could,
that? Oh, he back
it's,
home.
yeah, it's blurring. I think this was like the other day. Might have been
Uh-huh.
last Thursday, last Friday. You can't really see it because my screen blurred.
Yeah.
But he out here eating that bush. Get him back to Charlotte.
Hey, I heard something about he said he is in the best shape, since he, in his best shape
Yeah.
since college. So we'll see.
He healthy
But now,
now.
now, mind you, the thing about Excel though is this for me. It's like sometimes I think people take the things that he do outside of football, not necessarily out of
Mhm.
context, but it's just like, the man can't have a life without, 90 million people jumping on his neck saying, you need to be in Charlotte on the
Mhm.
jug machine. You need to be with Bryce running routes. You need to do this. You need to do that. My thing is like, yo, how do y'all know he's not doing that?
And the whole team, everybody on the team keeps saying, he in the gym every day. He's working. He putting in the work. So like,
Mm-hmm.
we see what we're allowed to see, and you got to stop assuming that he not doing that. We'll
Yeah,
see
this is
come
true.
training camp, come preseason, come regular season. We'll see if he put in the work. And I mean, I know he put in the work, but we gonna see it.
Okay. All right, bet. All right, cool bean. Oh, you know what? My bad in the car. Sorry, but
Oh man.
okay, there we go. Had to get on the right set. All right, man. But like I said, this is another short live. Didn't have too much for you, but wanted to give my thoughts on ranking the running backs of the NFC South. I'm going to keep doing this. This is what I like to call the what if part of the off season. Scenarios, what we think is going to happen, what we want is going to happen, what we want to happen. Until we get some, some tangible stuff to get on here and start
Mhm.
arguing about, training camp, which would be better. Which would be better if we could go there and and see it, and then I could really come on here and argue with some folks and be like, I synced it. But, you know, we got to rely on our reporters and beat writers who,
Mhm.
I have all the faith in the world that they'll get us what we need to see. I think we got one shot as Fan Fest.
Mhm.
Fan Fest and then the two preseason games at home after that, which I will try my damnedest to be at all. Well, no, let me see. I think I'm going to miss. I think it's one on the 16th, which we are having a party for my twin's birthday. So I would definitely miss that one. Definitely miss that one. But yeah, man. But the car, I thank you for joining, man. You got anything you want to say before we get up off here?
I need people who write articles to stop trying to bait the Panthers into trading for Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart or whatever his name is. We not trying to do
Shamar Stewart.
business. We not trying to do business. We got a good thing going. We ain't trying to mess that up. So just stop writing it. We
Yeah.
good.
Now I don't know about Shamar Stewart. I don't know if that would be my cup of tea right now, trying to trade for him. But now Trey Hendrickson,
I mean,
to,
he
to, to me
a
to
great
me that's a
player.
different story. Now,
Yeah, but it's
because
just
we can,
what
I
do we
think we
have
can
to give
afford him.
up? What do we have to give up? Is my
True,
thing. You know.
true. This is true. This is true. This is true. Because I think at the very,
It's
they're gonna
gonna
be
be
like,
a
nah,
lot.
yeah, they're gonna be like, we want a first round or this and that. I'm like, nah, bro, we don't gave we don't gave up enough first round. We don't need no more.
Yeah, we just started getting back all our draft picks, so
Oh, he said,
ready.
can we remove that Bucks pick, please? Thank you, sir. Oh, my bad, Pop. My bad. All right. Well, cool beans, everybody. Hey, I appreciate everybody joining me tonight. Thank you. Again, like I said, we'll get into some more of these, and as the off season progresses, we'll get into some some roster videos, about who we think has the best shot to make it. What position groups have the probably gonna have the most intense battles at training camp. Who's on the chopping block, who might be able to get themselves off the chopping block, things of that nature. Again, thank you to everybody, the front office members. Again, thank you to Mr. Huggy Dory last week. 20 gifted memberships. Greatly appreciate you. Tip Drill Will for the super chat tonight, and everybody that made a that made a comment tonight. I thank you and I appreciate you. Okay. And again, you can find me everywhere at Armchair GMCJ. And also, I do have my own website where I am writing articles, my opinionated articles about the Panthers. Armchairgmcj.com if you want to go and check it out. And again, with that, okay, I am not a journalist. All right. I did not go to school for that. So if you're reading my articles and you have some constructive criticism, by all means, let me know. I am trying to do this. I'm trying to get better at it. So if you got some suggestions, some opinions, some ways I can make it better, by all means, let me know. I appreciate it. Okay. And as always, Panther Nation, I'm going to leave y'all with 3 things. Number 1, y'all be good. Number 2, y'all be safe. And number 3, as always, Panther Nation, keep pounding, man. I'll see you.